Me and my brother grew up playing music, or trying to play music when we were younger. We'd play anywhere we could get in front of people. And when I think about us now, we're really no different. The road can be a pretty tricky place. You know, some nights we'll be playing in front of 50, 60 people. You can hear a pin drop. And then the very next night, we're playing in pretty much an empty room with 5 or 6 people at the bar watching the baseball game that are kind of like, you know, glancing at the stage with a sort of mild curiosity.
And you might be, you know, playing at 11 o'clock at a noisy bar, and your job is to try and convince people that didn't come there for you to care about you and to listen to even one of your songs.
I find it kind of fun though. You know, at the end of the day, you either let that stuff get to you, or you know, you take pride in just being thrown out there with what sometimes feels like the wilderness. And you know, you got to find a way to survive. You got to find a way to reel people in.
Everybody, thank you.
So I was setting up my stuff, my drums, and me and Robert noticed there was a baby like in the front row in like a little one of those things that swings back and forth. And I was like, that's going to be a problem, but we just didn't really address it. And so we start playing, and I'm like, we start with a loud song, one of our loudest, and you know, I just start playing the drums, and of course they see the baby infant that's so close to the snare drum, so close to the hi-hat, and they're like, oh my god, we got to get this thing out of here. So they wheel the baby off, and I was like playing the song, I messed up 3 times during the song because I was like, I just can't focus. It's like, what did you just do, you know?
It's kind of interesting. You go into these environments and people just they don't know what's going on. So like they see people setting up and they're like, oh, they like don't know if that's going to be happening anytime soon. But like once it starts happening, they're like, oh dude, we got to get out of here. We got to get this child out of here. Didn't know this was happening.
But it was a pretty good show, you know.
Oh yeah.
It was an alright show. You know.
No, I mean, Willie's locally known. Very cool.
Don't believe what they're telling you. A man in a blue tie still don't know the truth. I know you're down on your luck, but you do what you can. It's getting harder to pray to a mystery man. Stuck in Memphis with a 45. You got a bottle of scotch, but you're not looking to die. I know there's somebody out there good at loving you. I don't know why you keep living a lie, living a lie. Hey.
So we actually made our last record, Sleeping Giant, with a record label out of New York. And it was really exciting for me and my brother because it was the first record deal we'd ever signed. You know, it was the first time a record label actually paid for us to be in the studio, and they paid to release the album, and they let us keep full creative control of our songs. It's just so hard to get anyone to really pay attention to you, you know. There's just so much music that comes out every year. It's like, why should anybody listen to this band from Illinois? And, you know, I think at the end of the day, it wasn't a great fit with us and the label, and it kind of led us to be in Nashville a few years later, and we had a batch of new songs, and we really wanted to record them, but we honestly didn't want to do the same thing over again, you know. And so we decided the best thing we could do was to basically pay for the record independently, basically figure out how to get the money and make the best record we could make, and then once we had that record, you know, to see if anyone would be interested.
Come on, riders, come on, fighters, come on, lovers, come on, brothers, come on, riders, come on, fighters.
right when we decided to make our new album, I think we had about $2,000 on our credit card bill and about $0 in our bank account.
Our manager, who's also my wife, you know, she told us, you know, you guys can't make a record, you don't have any money, which we were well aware of.
You're like, you've been drinking that, sir? No, sir. No beer. Just liquor for me tonight.
Drinking some beer tonight, boys? Nope.
No, sir.
Just whiskey.
Yeah.
130 proof whiskey.
No beer tonight. Big beer makes me fat, but I've been hitting the liquor pretty damn hard. Keep this thing running like a kid.
Hey, I wanna make a stand. Everyone I know plays in a band, and all my friends play mine. Hey, don't walk too fast. You wanna be first, so you'll probably be last. There's hands stronger than yours that can hold you back.
I put a hat up there. Any donations are appreciated. It's not an easy task being an artist. You can make a living at it, but you know, till that one money song comes through, it can be a rough road. So I want to introduce Scott and Robert Cerny, and I'll turn the floor to you guys.
Took a walk down the Malibu coast. I want a Bobby house on the shore. I want more than I need, and I want it for less, like a solid American whore.
Put down Robert's shoe. You put down Robert's shoe. Hey, give it back. Put down his shoe.
What?
Oh.
Good boy. What a good dog.
He's so
He
proud.
put my shoe down. What a good boy.
Oh. How is it? Does it look okay?
That's fine. He put a little dent in it, but I mean, it was just a really cool way again to see the country as well, to experience people in their most intimate settings, and you know, you'd be in a family's life for a night, you know, possibly you know, the next morning, and then you'd be off again.
I think one of the coolest things about playing a house concert is considering like our world where there's so much noise going on and there's so many different things you can pay attention to and listen to. It's really hard to get an opportunity to be able to just play in front of someone with no distractions. And I think that as an artist, all you can really ask for is someone's initial attention. You know, you ask for someone to give you a chance to play your song for them, to connect with them in some way. And if someone gives you their attention in a format like that, I mean, it's a great opportunity.
Good job, everybody. This is going to be great. Good job, really, guys. Thanks for getting this together.
It doesn't sound as good as my other one.
Bobby Thunder's playing the wave, everybody.
So me and Robert were practicing one afternoon, and our neighbor walked over and he said, "Hey, I heard you guys practicing. I have a studio in town. I'd love for you guys to check it out." And we didn't really think much of it. I honestly thought he was going to take us to like his garage or something and be like, "Hey, check out my studio." But we went there and we were really impressed. I mean, it was an incredible studio, and it's just funny, I guess, very Nashville, you know, where literally our next door neighbor turned out to be one of the producers on our new record.
In.
I'm in for the solo, then out. I'm down for the verse.
Down, but in. Fucking in. Sorry. Watch my language. Out.
Right. No, to me, when I wrote out here and out here, it just means kicking
Out. In.
Cool.
Tight. That's all you need to know.
Hot damn mama, don't want no drama. I know you raised me right. You told me God is good and all of the evil in the world's gonna be alright. But I've got two legs for walking, my hands are for touching, and my eyes are wide tonight. I'm gonna get through the darkness, laugh at the devil, and I'll see you in the morning light. I'm gonna get through the darkness, laugh at the devil, and I'll see you in the morning light.
Hey, you hungry, buddy? You hungry?
Oh yeah, buddy. Always hungry.
How about you, Nate Dog?
I'm starving.
How about you, big guy? You hungry?
Oh yeah, there's that meat and three thing you was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Oh shit. I just farted over here too.
So I'm gonna get you out the,
Did you fart?
Oh yeah.
Meanly. We approve this record.
Well, I know it's hard to see where we're bound. Let's keep driving to the next small town.
Yeah, mixing up the meats and the veggies.
You put them right down in there, and they go right down in the stomach. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. You're always working against physical laws, no matter what you do in life.
You're just using your hand. There's a love making with food. You gotta love it. You gotta make love, so to speak.
Oh, so you're into it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Scotty here can eat any four-legged mammal in under 19 minutes.
Something to contribute.
It's a wild world out there.
So I met Fallon in Los Angeles shortly after me and Scotty had moved there, and we were friends for about a year. And then before you knew it, she was managing the Cerny Brothers, and we fell in love and got married. And fast forward a couple years, you know, we're living in Nashville, and me and Scotty are at Home Depot looking for lights for a merch stand, and I get a text from Fallon that just says, "I'm pregnant." Which, you know, I look back on that and I don't remember exactly what I was feeling at that moment. I remember I was just telling Scotty, "Hey, I gotta, you keep looking for these lights, man. I gotta get back home." And, you know, he's like, "Is everything okay?" And I said, yeah, man, I just got to get home. I got to figure some stuff out. I think to make matters even crazier, that very day we had a close family member pass away. And then within 2 days of hearing the news, we would, you know, we'd be packing up and hitting the road again for, I think, at least a month. So it was pretty crazy at first, and I think we were scared to hear the news at first. But now that we've you know, had a little time to process it, I think we're more than happy and excited to welcome our son Jackson into the world. And we definitely look at the whole thing as nothing short of a miracle. And I know that every time I sing and play, I'm always thinking of Jackson on the stage, and I really do hope that someday he might be proud of his dad, and that I can, you know, leave him with some sort of example that, you know, always follow your dreams and, you know, never give up.
My heart is a bedroom, you're sleeping there. I don't care where you've been. You can hang up your pictures and tell me your fears. I don't want you to pretend. So bad to tell you the truth, but I don't think that you'll understand. I'm not hiding anything from you that will hurt you. Just please don't let go of my hand. So let's have a night on the town, and I'll spend all my money on you. 'Cause I've been betting my cards and smoking my beers on dreams that are now turning blue. At the end of the night, when I lay down, you're all that's left in my head. 'Cause home is a place where you go to, and all other places are dead.
Snow-covered hills.
No, I like that. I like that.
Landslide brought it down.
Oh, dude, this song's
You
so
guys should
legit.
write some of this down.
Yeah. Wow. No, we'll remember it.
We'll show Nathan.
So we were playing the show in Denver, and I actually invited someone who I used to be friends with back in college. And, you know, I didn't know if she would come to the show or not, but she ended up coming to the show, and we kind of reconnected after the show and drove around Denver and had just kind of a great night together. And so we started texting and talking to each other. I mean, I had to leave the next morning. But we made plans to go see each other, and we were going to go hang out essentially for a weekend. And but about 3 days before I was going to get on the plane, she kind of texted me and said, "Hey, you know, I actually kind of met someone, and I don't know if you should still come anymore. I'd love you to come, but I just want to let you know that I met someone." And I was like, "Oh, no worries. You know, I'm not gonna I don't want to come if you don't want me to come. And she, you know, she was like, well, I don't want you to lose the money on your plane ticket. I was like, oh no, you know, it's a bummer, but it is what it is. It's no worries. And so I ended up going to a bachelor party that weekend instead of flying to see her. And I had lost $200 on the plane ticket, you know, that was just non-refundable. And just so happened there was a big poker game going on at the bachelor party. And, you know, I was in it for a while, and then I ended up winning the whole poker tournament. And my winnings, which were not a huge sum, but it was exactly $200. And so I actually texted her, you know, a couple of days later, and I was like, hey, I won this money back. You know, it looks like your ghost was looking out for me. And she texted me back and said, I'm not a ghost, I'm a real person. And for whatever reason, it inspired me to write this song called Ghost.
I'm just a wild wind blowing on your bare skin, shaking you at night. I'm looking for the gold land, gonna make a big stand, if that's alright. I'm just a ghost now, living like I know how to be alright. And you are just a pale moon shining in my bedroom when I sleep at night.
Playing some of those smaller bars or those smaller clubs that are more on the edge of town has, I think, definitely influenced our songs and influenced our outlook on life. And you know, when I look back on it, I wouldn't really want to change certain parts of that, because it has given us more of that weathered edge when we look at people, when we look at the world, and when we, you know, write our songs.
Make our way to the empty part of town. Couple people at the bar looking down. We spend our days just waiting for the show. Million miles and we still got more to go. Million miles and we still got more to go.
Marco coming?
Yeah.
Is that?
Come on, Marco.
All right, buddy. Come on. It's all right. Yeah. Smile.
Oh, Marco. Oh.
I know them all by name too. I know them all by name. Like Big Sean says, they started out as fans, but they ended up as fam. You know what I'm saying? I know what he's saying.
That is what it says.
And he's dealing with a lot bigger family. He's dealing with big numbers.
Big time.
And someday we will too, but we're going strong right now. You know? No, the rain's dying down, I think.